A documentary about one of the fiercest critics of Russian President Vladimir Putin has won the Oscars. Navalny was declared the best documentary at last night's Academy Awards ceremony in Hollywood. The documentary that has been produced by CNN Films and HBO Max follows the journey of Alexei Navalny during his recuperation in Germany following a poisoning attempt with the nerve agent Novichok that had left him fighting for his life. Navalny had already won multiple awards, including a BAFTA award for Best Documentary just last month. Navalny is perhaps the first person to receive an Oscar while being in solitary confinement. In this video, we bring to you the story of this man, Alexei Navalny, that has been long regarded as a thorn in Putin's eyes. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Oneindia. Alexei Navalny made his name in 2008 as a blogger. His earliest posts centered on corruption at state-owned companies, and sometimes he would get extraordinary access by becoming a minority shareholder in the companies in order to ask probing questions. He had released scores of damning reports exposing corruption in Vladimir Putin's Russia and had been a galvanizing figure in mass protests, including the unprecedented 2011-12 demonstrations sparked by reports of widespread rigging of a parliamentary election. Featuring roughly 50,000 people, they were the biggest in the capital city since the fall of the Soviet Union. He has been openly criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin and has been arrested multiple times because of his campaign against Putin. Navalny rode his popularity wave to a run for Moscow's mayor in 2013. He ran on a very strong nationalist platform, most notably calling for restrictive immigration policies to keep Muslims from the Caucasus and Central Asia out of the country and supporting Russia's 2008 war in Georgia. In 2012, Putin ordered Russia's investigative committee to launch a criminal inquiry into Navalny's past. The following year, he was charged and sentenced again, this time for 5 years for alleged embezzlement in the city of Kirov, but the following day he was released pending affirmation from a higher court and the sentence was later suspended. Navalny has twice been convicted on criminal charges of embezzlement and later of fraud and had received suspended sentences of 5 years and 3.5 years. He had even tried to formally run for president in 2016 but was barred running for the post after many allegations of corruption were raised against him. In 2014, Putin had sent forces to invade the southern Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea. He then annexed the territory because he wanted it returned to Russia's fold and because Kyiv was on the verge of an economic pact with the European Union. For Putin, such a deal meant Ukraine, which was long in Russia's sphere of influence, was tilting away from Moscow. That period was mostly a quiet one for Russia's opposition. Just like in the 2000s, it was hard to find a receptive audience for the anti-Putin cause when most people were happy with the leader. Navalny then used the lull to organize against his chief rival. Part of his battle turned personal after Russian law enforcement charged him in 2013 and 14 with embezzlement just to discredit him. After the second charge, Navalny was placed under house arrest and was only given permission to speak with his family. But Navalny did not give up or cower down. He developed another strategy to prepare for whenever Putin was vulnerable again. The first part was to make his politics more appealing to a wider Russian audience. The Islamophobia and hardline nationalism might have garnered support from ethnic Russians, but certainly not the masses. Without disavowing his previous views, Navalny zeroed in on one core message: corruption. But the Kremlin held a tight grip over the media. To get around that problem, he started building a large social media presence, the second pillar of his plan. In fact, he saw the political utility of YouTube before any other opposition leaders in Russia. He had posted several videos exposing the corruption of Russia's elites on his YouTube channel, which today has 6.38 million subscribers. One particularly famous upload from 2017 alleged that former President Medvedev took bribes from oligarchs disguised as charitable donations, a charge which he denies. When the Russian government succeeded in blocking access to the exposes, Navalny and his team placed the videos elsewhere, including on pornography sites, so anyone could see them. The success of his YouTube channel bolstered Navalny's reputation as an anti-corruption crusader and his audience grew. On 20th of August 2020, he was allegedly poisoned with new variant of Novichok. During a flight from Tomsk to Moscow, he became violently ill and was taken to a hospital after an emergency landing there and was put in a coma. He was then taken to a hospital in Berlin 2 days later. The use of the nerve agent was confirmed by 5 Organization of the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons certified laboratories. Though this was not the first time he was attacked by chemical substances. In 2018, he was attacked with a bright green liquid in the Siberian city of Bernal by an assailant who pretended to shake his hand. In 2019, he suffered an allergic reaction in jail, allegedly from an unknown chemical substance. He has been held for the past 2 years at a maximum security prison outside Moscow, and he has often accused Vladimir Putin of being the man behind his poisoning attacks. Alexei Navalny is one among those rare voices in Russia who is not dead so far for speaking against Putin. This was all about this man. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you so much for watching.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.